I'm Holly and I'm a Disability Support Coordinator at the Accessibility and Disability Resource Centre, or the ADRC.
And I'm Eleanor, the Senior Disability Support Coordinator.
I'm going to be speaking with Eleanor today about mentoring support to give you a better understanding of what it entails. Our roles involve coordinating the non-medical helper scheme, which refers to the human support that neurodivergent and disabled students at the University of Cambridge can access. Mentoring support is just one type of the non-medical helper support available. Elle, could you tell us a bit more about mentoring support and its purpose?
Yeah, absolutely. So mentoring support takes place in one-to-one sessions between the student and their mentor. And mentors support disabled and neurodivergent students to address the barriers to participating in their education. So that, of course, includes barriers to the teaching and learning environment, but it might also include barriers to the social environment at university. Sessions typically focus on areas such as time management and organisation, problem solving, navigating the social and academic environment, goal setting, coping with stress, and navigating university processes. Students from all different levels of study access support, so that could be undergraduate, postgraduate, and foundation year level of study. And usually students can access up to an hour per week of mentoring support.
Okay. Where does mentoring usually take place?
Mentoring sessions can take place online, for example, on Microsoft Teams or on Zoom, or they can take place in person, for example, a library, a cafe, or a room in a college.
Okay. What can students expect in their first session with a mentor?
So in your first introductory mentoring session, your mentor will get to know you. You'll discuss how you'd like to work together and what you'd like to focus on in future sessions. And in that first session, you'll also read and talk through the student mentor agreement. And that agreement covers the mentor and the student's responsibilities to each other. For example, giving 24 hours notice when cancelling or rearranging a session wherever possible. And importantly, that student mentor agreement also explains the confidentiality policy. And a mentor might discuss practical things with the student as well, for example, how they'll contact each other, when and where they'll meet, and the length and frequency of the sessions.
Okay, so that's the first session. What about in the further sessions?
So after that first session, students use mentoring sessions in different ways. For example, those new to the university might want to talk with their mentor about the new environment and navigating change. PhD students might wish to use the mentoring sessions for support with planning and implementing long-term projects, for example, creating an additional sense of accountability. Many students, regardless of their level of study, tend to use mentoring sessions to develop strategies for time management and organisation. So they might do practical things with their mentor in sessions, for example, creating a plan for the week or creating a revision schedule. A mentor will also check in with students about well-being and work-life balance. So if you're a student accessing support with us, then a mentor might signpost you to other sources of support, for example, the University Counselling Service or the Student Advice Service. And I'd say that a core part of mentoring is the understanding that you are the expert of your own experience. So a mentor won't tell you what to do, but they'll instead support you to find out what your options are and work out how you'd like to move forward. So there is a lot of problem solving in mentoring sessions.
How long do students access mentoring for?
So as well as using sessions differently, students access mentoring for different time periods. So some students use mentoring throughout their degree, whilst others use it for a term or a year and then feel equipped to continue without the support. Some students see their mentor every week in term time, whilst others meet their mentor every few weeks. So there is a lot of flexibility built into the support.
Okay, thanks for that. Now that we've discussed what mentoring is, do you think you could speak a bit about what mentoring isn't so that students can work out whether it's the right form of support for them to access?
Yes, that's really important. So mentoring isn't counselling support or therapeutic support. So if you're seeking that type of support instead, then there are more appropriate places available to receive this. A mentor is also not able to support you with the understanding of your course materials or with the content of your academic work. And as mentors aren't advocates, they can't act on your behalf or make contact with anyone outside of the ADRC.
Okay. Finally, what happens if a student finds that mentoring support isn't actually working out for them?
We're pleased that we receive a huge amount of positive feedback from students about mentoring support by the ADRC. But of course, if you're receiving mentoring support and you don't feel things are working out or that the support is meeting your needs, then at any point you can speak with my team, for example, myself and Holly, or your disability advisor or your mentor themselves, because mentors do really value feedback.
Well, thanks, Eleanor. I found it useful. I hope that you found this useful as well. And if you have any more questions about mentoring or the ADRC in general, you can take a look at the ADRC website or you can contact us. Thanks very much.